once again to Vicious Rats. Of course, I'm your host, your YouTube Messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And Raw this week was in the Performance Center as per the current state of affairs. That's pretty much the new norm. I know I said before, I should probably change it, but I'm not gonna, because once the shows are eventually able to get back to touring, I gotta keep in the habit of being able to say it's in this city or that city or whatever. And with that being said, before we get into Raw, the big news that happened, well, over the course of pretty much from Thursday of last week up until today, and it's still going, a lot of wrestlers, women wrestlers, male wrestlers, everyone in between, have been coming out saying what wrestlers or promoters or anyone have abused or bullied or, in any type of way. Mostly female wrestlers in regards to being sexually harassed or assaulted or, worse. And it's a very nasty subject to talk about, yes, but it is one that does need to be addressed. There were a lot of names, which I can't name all of them. The ones that really big that stuck out were Joey Ryan, Dave Christ in Impact, which were fired. I just recently discovered that news about a half hour before I started this recording. Jack Gallagher was let go last week on Friday. Jimmy Havoc and Sammy Guevara have been sent to rehab, and Sammy has been sent to also for sensitivity training because for whatever reason he decided to go and try and make the comment saying Sasha Banks was, so hot he just wanted to rape her. And just, dude, listen, okay, there's no bones about it. We all know I'm a bad horn dog on here. I'm a hound dog and a half. But even I'm fucking smart enough to know you wouldn't say that kind of shit. And dude, if you're gonna say that to try and get a cheap pop, 1, reevaluate yourself. 2, jump off of a 20-foot cliff head first. And lastly, I hope everyone that fucking finds you after you jump off that cliff realizes, well, this motherfucker did that because he decided to go and say something stupid. Dude, you're putting this shit out there. Everything is out there for the entire world to see. It's not 2020, it's 1984. Big Brother's fucking watching all the time. Just like they're watching this shit now. For fuck's sake. You want to say a girl is hot? Just go and pull out some kind of line like I do, say, God damn, she is fucking smoking. That, and the one thing that is kind of, I'm sitting there questioning on, and I'm not saying this in a positive or negative thing, but I'm just sitting there in confusion on, is the fact that Jimmy Havoc was brought up on these accusations, was sent to rehab and suspended. Sammy Guevara, suspended, sent to rehabilitation and sensitivity training. Accusations have been brought up on Darby Allin. Not one word has been said on him, and instead it's just, nah. Now, I don't want you to think I'm saying this as I'm just shitting all over AEW, because I'm not. But those are the names that popped up big. In case you didn't notice, right at the top of the list, I did say WWE guy Jack Gallagher wound up getting fired. Also, a lot of the UK talent that was working with the was working with the NXT, that was working with NXT UK. It's, like I said, it's very sad and it's very disturbing. I'm not going to go and make a big spiel on it. I'm not going to drag it out any longer than I have, but I feel bad for all of these people that have, my heart goes out to them. And, you know, I hope in some way, shape, or form they get the justice that they are hoping for. That's the best I can put at. And now, with that said, let's try to lighten up the rest of the show by going into last week, talking about the SmackDown Rewind. Last week, it started out Uncle Alan AJ Styles being christened with his new Intercontinental title, and I may be in the small minority here, but I like the new Intercontinental design. I think it's a lot nicer, and not only that, again, I'm a fan of different. It's different. It looks different than the rest of the fucking titles in the company. So yeah, fuck yeah, go for it. I love it. Now, AJ was christened it. He had Daniel Bryan put it around his waist. Then Bryan started issuing saying, why don't you show you're a fighting champion and give a title shot to this guy or 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 this. AJ was like, whoa, no. You want a shot at this title, you gotta earn it. And if somebody wants to try and step, well then let them step. And then out we get, Matt Riddle, which really felt awkward because Matt Riddle's name was brought up amongst those list of people that Friday morning. And for people that like seeing Matt Riddle, I'm pretty sure I'm in that group that was like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to cheer or be sickened right now. But yeah, we were pretty sure a lot of people were like that. Riddle wound up getting his SmackDown debut. And trying to think. Other big highlights. Big highlight also, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose had a one-on-one segment where Sonya Deville literally put a beat down on Mandy, all while wearing a suit. So, you know, she wants us to call her daddy. She damn earned that right. So, yeah, I got no issue with calling her daddy. Other than that, other big issues that occurred on SmackDown. Braun Strowman called out Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt finally came back doing a Firefly Funhouse, saying if he can't, he'll just go into his past and find somebody who can take out Braun. And then he went back to the Bray Wyatt, the Eater of Worlds. Braun, I made you. Run. That kind. So yeah, that was pretty much it. So now, let's get on with this week's show. Raw, it starts out Drew McIntyre coming out boasting about on how, you know, he took out Lashley, he's cleared all competition in front of him, he wants someone new, and then out comes Dolph Ziggler, which then Ziggler then proclaims he's here on Monday nights now because since AJ got traded, Monday Night Raw instead wound up getting Ziggler and his partner, Bobby Roode. So, which, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little happy on because, you know, one, it gives them opportunity working with new talent. And two, last I checked, I'm pretty sure Roode was on the short list of people that got forlonged about 3 months ago. You know? But either way, that also adds credibility to AJ, saying that one AJ Styles was worth 2 SmackDown guys. What's that tell you? But yeah, Ziggler comes out. He then says, when you came here, it was, you know, we were on a mission. We wanted to change things, this, that, and the other. And now look at you. You're at the top. And now, because of that, it's all because of me. So you owe me. So I want a title shot. McIntyre, well, let me put it to you like this. You say this is all from you. Last I checked, after we split, I rose to the top. You You turned into the very thing we hate. A compliant jackass. Paraphrasing, mind you. But, long story short, McIntyre accepted, so yeah, we're going to get a title match with them two at Extreme Rules, which I'm okay with if it means that that's a buffer eventually leading to Lashley versus McIntyre at SummerSlam potentially, and then them two having a title match where Lashley wins, because I would not mind that one bit. But yeah, after that happens, then next thing you know, Nia Jax comes out, grabs a chair, hijacks the ring, talks about on how last week she was gypped out of her opportunity of a title because referee John Cone did a fast count and was biased, and all Charlotte Flair had to do was woo and get her shot. And then, speak of the devil, you summon him, out comes Charlotte with, whew, good God almighty. Sammy, I hope you're taking notes, because I just showed the excellent way on how you pass a compliment to a woman that's gorgeous when you, instead of saying something that's sick and unnecessary. Charlotte came out, and it's like, oh, Nia, you want to talk about legacy. You want to talk about family. I like that little part right there. I liked on how Charlotte just kind of popped that part out right there, saying, you want to talk about family? You know, never once mentioned names, but it's all well known. Yes, Nia is part of the IIonics family. Not a big shocker. I'm pretty sure the only Samoan in wrestling that's not is Samoa Joe. It seems like every other Samoan in wrestling is in the IIonics family. You know, Tama Tonga, he's Haku's kid. You got Haku, Rikishi, fucking Yokozuna, The Rock, obviously, the Samoans, Roman, Usos. The list could go on. We ain't got enough time for that on the show, so let's move forward. But either way, it was just, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. She threw that out, and that was just like, alright, if you get that, you know. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That was a nice cheap shot. And then she was saying, you know, you want to talk about hard work. I'm the one that broke Asuka's undefeated streak. I'm the one that she's never been able to beat. I'm the one that's about to become Raw Women's Champion. So why don't you watch? And then we get, then Nia slaps the shit out of Charlotte, wrenches her arm, and then they go to the back. Now we come to our first match of the night. So we had two segments before the match. Before our first match. Raiders, Street Profits. Finally, it comes to this. Yep, Raiders were leading early on. You know, they were dictating the pace of the match. I like the match. Yeah, these guys got such good chemistry, both in the ring and with promos and segments. You know, the anything you can do, I can do better shit. People can go, you know, you can have your wrestling purists and, you know, your hardcore fans go and say, well, this is shit, I don't like this, I don't like that, this is degrading to this person's character, well, you'd never see Ric Flair do this, well, you'd never see the Four Horsemen do that. Fuck this shit. Dude, you're using 1970s mindset in the 2020 time frame. You know? At this point in time, anyone can do anything. For fuck's sake. Eric Ray Rowe has a fucking YouTube show talking about on how him and his wife are building and maintaining a farm. You know? What the hell? So, just stop. You know, and not only that, it's wrestling, it's entertainment, it's performance theater. You got two guys that are acting like they're Vikings going against two guys that are acting like they're high-end street guys. High-end street class dudes. You're really going to argue over them doing some shit that's going to put a smile and a laugh on people's faces? And say, well, that's just stupid. Dude, you had Vince McMahon, who was the biggest, most evil, vile, heel-like villain in the company, get his head buried in Rikishi's ass and pretty much tossed his salad on live TV. So, no, you want to tell me characters wouldn't do shit, look at that. So, yeah, either way. Beautiful match. I dug it. I thought it was a good match. It came to an end. A lot of guys, these guys were trying to top each other again with that whole anything you can do, I can do. Because at one point the Profits actually did the experience onto the Raiders themselves, which was like, holy shit. And, you know, now the match eventually came to an end. The Profits got the win. They did the Montez Ford, he did the frog splash on the Ivar, and Dawkins took out Eric with a spear, threw him out the ring, got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. After that, them two embraced, shared the code of honor. That's always something I like seeing. You know. Next up, now we get my future third ex-wife, Asuka. Oh, sweet Jesus. Needed my heart pills once I saw her. Going against Charlotte Flair. This was a damn good match. Charlotte led early on. Asuka, she started working on that clipped arm that Nia tweaked earlier. You know, Charlotte was actually dictating the pace in this. And, you know, I've said this before, you know, and I used the analogy before. It's an old saying my sister taught me. When I first started high school. It's like, you know, she was saying, it was, you can get 99 no's all day long. All you need is just one yes. In this case, you know, people can go and say, Charlotte beat Asuka every single time. Charlotte can have all those wins up against Asuka. Asuka only needs one. You know, that's it. That's all it takes. And it was great. These two, again, two great matches back to back. It was beautiful. I fucking loved it. Asuka, she got the win. She did the Asuka lock. It was really good to see. And I'm not going to lie, as much as I was hoping and pulling for Asuka, part of me was kind of expecting like, oh man, please don't tell me they're going to make Charlotte win. Don't tell me they're going to make Charlotte win. Wait a sec. Charlotte tapped? Charlotte tapped! Hallelujah! And then, yeah. Then we got a backstage segment with Nia saying it'd be a shame if somebody were to do something to the Queen during her troubling times right now. Next up, we're supposed to have Akira Tozawa with his ninjas, because why not have ninjas? You know, it's pro wrestling. We already got two guys dressing up like Vikings. Again, two guys dressing up and acting like high-class street dudes. You know, we got a dead man out of The Undertaker, a demon from Kane, you know, let's see, what else? A girl thinking she's a zombie in AEW, Abaddon, a cult in AEW with the Dark Order. And, you know, why not? Why not? Why not have ninjas? So, yeah, Akira Tozawa is supposed to go against R-Truth, and just as the match is about to take place, Bobby Lashley and MVP come down. Lashley destroys the ninjas, much like Godzilla would destroy Tokyo City, and then he goes after Truth, beats the living shit out of him, and Tozawa crawls out from under the ring after Lashley leaves, like, it's all gone, okay. Climbs up on top of Truth, gets 1, 2, 3, wins, and is now your 24/7, 48/6, 7-Eleven, I-95 South, binge-watched all of Parasite and One Piece on Netflix champion. Next up now, we got Liv Morgan. Good God. First Asuka, now Liv. Whew. Definitely needed my heart pills tonight. Going against Natayla. Talk about a buzzkill. And then Natayla is out with Lana. Okay, so I think I kind of made sense on this last week. In a way, it kind of makes sense. Natayla, she's really good in the ring, but not so much on the promo. And Lana's not so much good in the ring, but I can't figure the equation out. Yeah, I'm not quite sure on where they're going with this. I can't figure it out one way or another. But either way, Natty led right for the entire way through. Came to an end. Liv Morgan got hit with the sharpshooter, and then it was Natalya and Liv celebrating. I mean, honestly, I think if they both really come off like HMBs, high maintenance broads, so if you want to, maybe that's the connection. Maybe it's because they're both HMBs and high maintenance broad, You can just start making a women's faction, call them HMBs. That'd probably work during the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression. Nowadays, PC kids will wind up getting their nuts in a vice over it. Fuck that shit. Let's move forward. Next up, we got women's tag action. Sasha and Bayley going against the IIonics. And I'm not going to lie, this was another damn good match. Really good back and forth right into the break. IIonics, they tried to pick up the pace after the commercial, but it pretty much fell flat. And, Sasha and Bayley, they were leading it. They got the win. Sasha locked in the bank statement on Peyton Royce. Peyton tapped out. Again, pet peeve. When the submission is when the submission's locked in, at least make a mental count. Count to 5 or 3 or something. But just the second it's locked in, don't do ah! I hate that. I hate that. That's a pet peeve of mine. Just show like, oh wait, no, I think I can hold out. Oh God, this hurts so much. Yeah, I can't take it no more. Something like that. That's what I grew up seeing, and that's what, And as much as I said, talked about why not throw whatever stupid, random, weird shit into wrestling, you also have to have a small sense of realism with it. Much like when you do with anything else. Whether it's cartoons, comic books, sci-fi, drama, whatever. You gotta have some small semblance of realism, and I think that small semblance of realism would be good. After the match, Sasha wound up saying, Bayley, it's real nice seeing you being Bayley Dose Straps, but I'm not gonna lie. I kinda want that feeling too. So I'm issuing an open challenge to Asuka for a match at Extreme Rules. Asuka then comes out, says she accepts, then next thing you know, they do a beatdown. Sasha locks in a bank statement until she eventually lets go. But during the entire time, Asuka never tapped or tried to, just instead had her hands up there trying to pull the move off, which was nice to see. So now we come to the final match of the night. Not the ending part of the show, but the final match, mind you. It was Apollo Crews going against Shelton Benjamin, once again for the United States title. And before this happened, we had MVP with the VIP lounge welcoming out Shelton Benjamin, saying, now, listen, son, I know we got off on the wrong foot. I offered you some help. I offered you help. I went through all these hard times and all through the roads. So that way, you don't have to. I can lead you to greatness. Now, you've been champ for about, 3 weeks now, right? Try talking to me when you've been doing it, when you did it for 300 plus days. Which, when you got a former champ talking to a current, saying, talk to me when you've held it for as long as I have, then that's when you got credibility being a former champion in my book. And it just, that was cool. After that, Shelton Benjamin came out. MVP was like, whoa, okay, I'm gonna hop on out. You two cats, go ahead. But whoa, wait. Apollo, before you start, little bit of advice. Next thing you know, boom, Shelton sneak attacks him. Always keep your eyes open all around you. That bit of advice was free. The next one's gonna cost you. And then we get to the match now. And this was a pretty solid match, you know, very much so like last week. I dug it. It was a good match. These two can work, you know. They're both good, solid workers. And I've said it before, Apollo, great talent. I really hope they shoot a rocket to his ass and throw him up, shoot him to the moon and back, you know. I hope so. Match came to an end eventually when Apollo, he did that one-handed sit-down power bomb of his onto Shelton. Got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. After that, MVP was up on the apron, congratulating, applauding. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, Lashley comes out, beats him up, locks him into full Nelson, ragdolls him a little, and then boom. So as much as I would hope and pray for Lashley against McIntyre at SummerSlam, it looks like we may wind up getting Lashley against Cruz for the US title at Extreme Rules, and my money's most likely going to be on that being Lashley's next win. Now we come to the closing segment of the night. It is Rey Mysterio coming back out once again. Now, Rey Mysterio coming back out once again, talking about on how, you know, he was mad because Seth, you know, damn near blinded him in the eye. On a personal note, I'm also a little sad and disappointed in Rey because he had a perfect opportunity to come out with a Deathstroke mask like from the DC comics, and he did not. I was seriously disappointed in that. But that's just personal take. That's personal opinion and what have you. But either way, Rey comes out talking about on how, you know, as a father, you know, you always do what you have to protect your kids, this, that, and the other, but as they get older, it's harder to. And then my son, he comes down to here without giving a word of warning to me or his mother, has us both worried, and then I have to sit there and watch him as he's fighting for his life against Seth Rollins and his two guys. And then he has Dominic with him the whole time, and he's like, Dominic, you may be bigger than me now. And trust me, he is. Dominic, if you have not seen Rey's boy, he looks like he's roughly about my height, maybe 6'2"-ish. You may be bigger, you may be taller, you may be stronger, but you'll always be my baby. Which is a very, if you're not a parent, you would not understand that. And then Dominic said, whoa, Dad, I understand, but I'm not going to let him go and do that to you. And then Seth comes out. This is so touching. I've come out here, and now we're going to finally finish this. And I'm paraphrasing, mind you. And then Seth drops to his knees, puts his arms out. And then out comes Murphy and Theory right behind him. And as they're coming out, and it looks like, you know, and I'm not going to lie, for a second there, Dominic had me, because he lined up behind his dad, and it looked like he was like, oh shit, are we really going to see him beat the crap out of Rey and then say Eddie was his dad all along? Are we going to really see that? But just as it looked like it was about to happen, Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo came out, and then, yeah. And then we had a big skirmish, brouhaha, brawl, and then they all tried to drag Seth over to the stair to dig his eye in. Did not happen. Instead, just as they were about to, it got interrupted, and then Seth went to go and drag Dominic over, and just as he was about to dig his eye in, Humberto came over with a chair, scared them all off. That was the end of the show. End of sequence, fade to black. We are done, folks. So my guess is pay-per-view, we're going to get a trios match. Black, Carrillo, and Rey against Seth Murphy in Theory. If not at Extreme Rules, most likely within the next week or two. So yeah, that is it, folks. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also on that Facebook, Gimmick Tim Ash. If you're going to look for me on my Facebook gimmick, let me know you found me on there from here. Or hit me up on my Twitter at Tim Vicious, so I'm thinking I creep John on. Also, folks, Big thank you to my executive producer who provided the music for this week's show, Ali Ray Ben. His music out there on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and such. Details are down below. He's also on that iTunes bit. You're one of these sweet Ali Ray Ben shirts. Hit me up. I talked to the man for you. Show him some love and support. Also, thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. It's a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, please do not forget to follow these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mountain, Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica R8, and unfortunately, Sergeant Curry Pants, she still is put in Twitter jail at this moment in time. Hopefully, she's brought out soon. If not, I'll put her ghost account on there. And folks, one, fuck Sammy Guevara and fuck anyone that has ever hurt or violated any woman or any man, woman or child in any way inappropriately. And secondly, if you love me, great. You hate me, fuck yourself.